It might look like Fall Harvest 2024 is canceled, but today we're going to do some foliar application on some beans. Right now we're at a point where the drought is just kicking our butts, up one side and down the other. And for the next 10 days, 2 weeks, you don't have any more rain in the forecast. You know, save a random microburst opening up right over the top of the farm or something like that. Right now we're operating on very little subsoil moisture. We're in trouble. And if the forecast is correct for the next 2 weeks, it's supposed to be over 100 or in the high 90s and no rain. If that holds true, then fall harvest is pretty well going to be canceled. But you're probably wondering, okay, well, if things are that dire, then why are we going out and applying foliar stuff on the soybeans? To which I'd say, what better time than right now? Because if it works, maybe it gets the beans to hold on for another week or something like that. It shows some benefit to it. If it doesn't work and it burns up anyways, I've already paid for the stuff. Might as well use it and see if it does any good at all. And who knows, if it gets it to hold on another week, 10 days, we might just catch some random bit of rain coming through and it might just save the crop.
In the business, we call this foreshadowing.
Am I that optimistic? No. This season has made it very hard to be optimistic because we've missed so many rain chances and the weather predictions have been so outlandishly terrible. I'm having a hard time being any sort of optimistic. Today we're going to start out with a little bit of WinBio's soy sauce. It's got some nitrogen in it, some potash, boron, manganese. There's some other stuff, also some fulvic acid. Got our little pull type sprayer here loaded up and gonna do just a few passes in pretty much every bean field on the farm. That way we kind of get a general idea of how well it actually does, and might actually have some yield data to go behind it, providing the crop ever gets there. Now, yes, I know with this being a low profile sprayer and it's being pulled on with a 45-55, I'm going to mash down quite a bit of beans. To be honest, I really don't care because, again, 2 weeks, we don't get any rain, it isn't going to matter anyways. But if it manages to get some of it to hold on, maybe that mash down will be worth it. With this sprayer, I don't do a lot of, post runs over the beans or anything like that. This is just a little spot sprayer. Basically, in the wheat stubble before planting cover crop, there was where we parked the trucks. I was cutting really low, throwing some wheat over. So we had some volunteer wheat and a couple little bits of weeds through there, a couple patches of bindweed through the different fields. Loaded this up, took care of those little patches, a lot niftier, a lot handier, and a lot cheaper than, calling the co-op and having them come out and spray the whole field, or having them wander around and try to find all the little patches. This is actually the first sprayer that I've ever owned that's, not an ATV sprayer or something like that. The reason I got this was for mostly a teaching aid. I would like to be able to do some of my own spraying, have a better pull type sprayer in the future for some other, just maybe some burn downs and stuff like that, and let the co-op handle the more specialized stuff. But I don't know much about spraying. I am still learning all the different little intricacies, all the things you got to watch for. And this is the perfect teaching aid. It's a simple machine. Like I said, doesn't have a rate controller on it. It just has the tips that I have in it at the moment, and pressure, speed, figure gallons per acre that way. It's got a PTO pump, 3-section, manual section control in the cab. It's pretty simple. The thought is this way, when I want to go up to a bigger pull type sprayer or something like that in the future, I kind of have a better idea what I'm looking for, what I like, how things are ran. Just basically, I want to have the basics covered up here before I go spending more money. But for now, the plan is to keep this for at least a couple more years, keep learning, when things inevitably break, learn how to fix them properly, stuff like that. I do need to widen out the tractor. It was set for duals, so I need to widen it out so the path of the tractor matches the path of the sprayer. I don't want to push the wheels in on this. I was talking to a guy who used to own one of these, and he said pushing it narrow, these things get really, really tippy. So I'm just going to leave this out and eventually move the tractor. It isn't a fancy setup by any means, but it does work. And at the end of the day, that's all that matters. We'll get fancy another time. If you have some tips and tricks that you'd like to pass along to a newbie sprayer operator, drop them in the comment section for me. I do appreciate it. And while you're here, please don't forget to like, subscribe, share. Already told you to comment. Hit the little bell icon on the bottom. And I hope to see you back next time. As always, thanks for stopping by.